Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
My favorite biscuit.
Yeah, that's right, kids. We're still on some. Some of us are still on some Namor. Welcome back to another episode of Marvel Tales. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, the #1 Namor fan.
Yes, Justin the Owl, rising from the depths of Atlantis to profess my undying love.
Rising
Namor.
many things. Yes.
Oh yes.
That's right. Yes, he's been waiting for this one because we are finally going to talk Prince Namor, the Submariner 4-issue miniseries from 1984. That's not even on the Marvel Unlimited app. I had to go find these issues. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was amazed that it wasn't, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's Jamie Mateus. I don't know why.
Yeah. And this is a crucial Namor story, as we'll see.
And kids, episode 99, the last double-digit episode.
Yes. Oh, man. I can't believe we made it to 100 already. That's so long.
I know.
Yep.
See what happens when you keep a consistent schedule, Ray? Do something other than hold your deck. Yeah.
Sometimes with both hands.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he was. Oh, last episode he swapped with someone. He was holding someone else's deck.
Sharing is caring, after all.
All for free on YouTube, kids. He's very generous with his content there.
The hard master.
All right. I wanted to tell you real quick. I saw, was it this past week or the week before? I forget where was that. If it was at Comic-Con or if it was a meeting. Chip Zdarsky posted. It was either Twitter or Instagram, somewhere where he was like, I guess he was somewhere with is it Ryan North, who's writing the Fantastic Four currently. Yeah. And he said something like, "Oh, we don't need these Canadian guys coming down here writing Fantastic Four." I'm like, what is this guy? But he the whole joke was, I guess he said, he mentioned Namor. So I don't know, Namor is going to be in an upcoming Fantastic Four. So, but he goes, yeah, we don't need these guys coming down from Canada, writing Fantastic Four who can't even pronounce Namor. Because I guess Ryan North called him Namor.
Namor, yeah.
Namor, yeah. He's like, if you don't know how to say Namor,
yeah, that's heresy. Get out of my office. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Namor. Well, he's probably seen the MCU movie recently, and just that, that enunciation of it is in his mind, maybe. Yeah.
Well, that's one of those weird things too, is like if you've only seen a word in a comic and you've never heard anyone speak it aloud, how do you pronounce this thing?
Yeah, I'm still pronouncing things that I originally mispronounced years ago, and I've heard, like, with people's names and things, I'm still pronouncing people's names wrong.
Oh yeah, like, I swear for the longest time,
Jim Aparo, I still pronounce it Aparo sometimes.
Yeah. I swear Ray and Rebecca were calling Tigra for the longest
time. Tigra! Oh, yeah. I know, it's funny how the brain, like, holds on to that stuff. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh, yeah. Charlie used to call Crusher Krell.
Krell. Nice. With one E. Yeah.
Yes.
Crusher Krell. That's fantastic.
It's like you're just stuck in your brain at a certain,
Well, that even sounds actually more sinister. Crusher Krell. Yeah, I like that.
All right, so should we talk some issues again, and then a great story, and we have synopses for these.
I love it. And yeah, this was actually my introduction to Namor.
Oh,
miniseries. Back in 1984, like, I had just gotten into comic books really heavy. I was 6 years old, and people were just kind of getting me random handfuls of comics as gifts around my birthday and Christmas. And so this first issue that we're about to talk about was one of them, and I just it was in love. I was in love right away. I thought, this is fantastic. I love this guy.
Here's the origin, kids. If you wanted to know what,
Yep, this is where it began.
The moment
Yes.
Justin decided, yeah, women ain't for
This
me.
is it.
Here we go.
Yeah. That cover. Oh man, look at that gorgeous guy. Yeah. Yeah. So, but I also love the story, and I mean, in addition to him, I mean, I fell in love with the story, the artwork, as we'll discover in this, and then the other 3 issues in this miniseries I didn't discover until many years later. And then
really?
read the whole thing, and I was like, oh wow, this story is fantastic. This is great. I want more of this for Namor. He deserves good stories like this. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about this.
And look at that cover. Where else can you get titillated for 75 cents?
I know. Yeah, look at that. It's fantastic.
Man, 75 cents. I'd be walking in these days going, give me one of everything that came out today.
Give me a mountain of your new releases, please. And look at, he's even got that gorgeous little box up in the corner with the trident up above the issue. Yeah, I love it.
I miss corner boxes.
Me too.
All right. All right, let's get this synopsis here. Oh, and again, another piece of evidence for the prosecution. Namor has a type.
Yes. Indeed he does.
Why did you call me Sue? Shh.
Put on this costume. Don't ask questions.
Don't let me see you while we're doing it. All right. Prince Namor, the Submariner, #1 from September 1984. A New Age Dawning? ? That might be the most sinister question mark I've ever seen.
Yeah. As we will discover.
Oh, writers JMD Mateus and Bob Budiansky, which I guess these two might have worked closely for around this time, because I know, like I said, like like that last year, the original Ghost Rider series, it was like every issue was either Budiansky or JMD Mateus. So it's I don't know if those two are working close together on that, and
okay, or
if it was just it's like, oh hey, who am I going to hand it off to? My buddy here. Okay,
yeah, that's cool.
Penciler Bob Budiansky, he's making his money here. Inker Danny Belandi, colorist Glennis Ween, letterer Joe Rosen, and editor Tom DeFalco. All right. Prince Namor demonstrates his fighting prowess in the arena before thousands of adoring Atlanteans and Justin before retiring to his palace to deal with the matters of his advisory council. He tires of the mendacity and seeks an adventure, ultimately deciding to take the place of Lord Dara in a visit to the United Nations headquarters in New York City. Upon arriving, his presence is greeted by intense media interest, reflecting on his role as a member of the invaders during World War II and his previous attempt to join the UN at the height of McCarthyism. Instead of violent protests, Namor is greeted with cheers upon his second arrival and meets with Jacqueline Truffaut, a French expert on marine biology and subsea culture. She's about to become even more of an expert on marine biology, kids.
Unique marine biology, no less.
Yes, exactly. A U.S. State Department official and a liaison of the Secretary General. He is pleased with the discussions before leaving to attend matters back in Atlantis. During his voyage home, he is met by someone called Dragon Rider, and a massive mutant dragon-like sea creature that he is forced to combat. Despite a fierce battle, Namor ultimately succeeds in luring the creature into an underwater volcano and seriously injuring it. Forcing it to flee, he captures the Dragon Rider and discovers her to be a member of his own guard. He is unable to successfully establish her intentions and seeks to question her further back home, but upon arrival discovers that her and her dragon had already devastated the city. Wow, that's quite the cliffhanger you had to sit on for a while.
I know, yeah, and I went years after reading
Yeah.
this to figure out what happened. Yeah, it was wild. Yeah, because this is your first time reading this one, right, Phil?
Yeah. No, I like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What'd
no,
you think?
yeah, it was great. I liked it.
Nice.
Of course,
Yeah.
again, I always love James DeMatteis's writing, and
Mhm.
I love Bob Budiansky stuff. I mean, all the way back to like Transformers, like from
Oh,
around this
yeah.
time. Yeah.
The original run, right?
Yes.
Didn't he start that
Yeah.
out? Yeah.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah,
basically did like the first half of that original Marvel series.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But no, I loved it. I mean, again, it's good story, good art.
Atlantis looks good in this. Like
Mhm.
it's tough to in a comic book to make Atlantis look good or acceptable.
Oh
And
yeah.
it looks good here. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, it looks really good.
again, getting the action, because again, him in the beginning, and then him fighting that sea dragon towards the end there.
Dragon Rider. Yeah, that big beast was pretty crazy, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and this is before I developed my phobia of big giant things in the ocean when I was 6 years old reading this, so I didn't have any crazy fears to get in the way of me enjoying this story. Which now, like I'm looking at this story, and the first time that they show Dragon Rider, and you see that in the cavern, just this pair of red eyes peeking out from underneath. I'm like, now I'm reading it. I'm like, oh God.
Funny. No fear of big things on land, though.
That's right, because that's my element.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Speaking of Dragon Rider, no, you'll never dethrone the queen.
That's right.
Oh, but they even mentioned, oh yeah, in that flashback to when he showed up in the 40s, and he gets open fired upon, and a bullet ricochets off him, and
Y-
strikes and kills up a nearby
A bystander. Yeah.
bystander. Yeah, because that's
Which
going to
is,
be a big plot point, kid.
yes, remember that. That shows up later on in a big
Mhm.
way. And that was a huge surprise to me when they
Oh
addressed that
yeah, yeah.
later on. I was like, ooh, wow, okay, nice. Um, I also loved basically the how we had a perfect representation off the bat of Namor's personality
Hmm.
because he's restless. He's getting pissed that he's going through the motions of this whole ceremony and stuff, and he's getting bored, and he's lashing out at Vashti and all these people in his advisory council. He's getting bored. He needs to go do something. So things might have gone a different way in this story had he not acted so impulsively, as we'll discover. So his cousin is originally the one that's supposed to be the UN delegate for
Oh yeah.
Atlantis, Dara. But then Namor steps in and he's like, "Oh well, no, this should be me doing it, right?" So he just kind of pushes Dara aside and takes center stage as Namor tends to do because he's bored anyway, and it gives him a perfect excuse to get out of stuffy old Atlantis for a while. And to his surprise, he's greeted with cheers from the people. Probably a lot of them don't even remember what happened the first time around the with the bricks and rocks and stuff being thrown and people shooting at Namor and things
Well, yeah, it was
because that
40
was
years ago. Yeah.
40 years ago. So there's a whole generation here that has no recollection of those events. So they're cheering him on. He's completely surprised, which probably isn't the best thing because it kind of buffets his ego and is like, oh well, this was the right thing to do after all.
What
But
did
then we quickly discover, no, actually, this was an error.
and how'd you feel about that outfit he wore to the UN this time? That
Oh
blue
yeah, with
solo thing. Yeah.
the blue, yeah. Well, that I think that's been used a few times before.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's so funny. The collar, I mean, the collar is what makes it hilarious to me. That kind of spiky, frilly yellow collar. Uh, but the rest of it, yeah, is fine. And the slippers always make me laugh too. The dainty little black slippers too. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, just walk around barefoot, I guess. Well, it is New York City. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess maybe I don't know. Maybe he can keep his feet a little more wet in those. I don't know.
They're galoshes.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Except the opposite. Keep your feet wet.
Right.
But no, I mean, this was a
Yeah.
good start. I read this first issue and I was like, yeah, I'm hooked. Luckily,
Yeah.
I bought all four, so I was like, yeah, I'm hooked.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it does. It grips you right away. The story grabs you. It's like, okay, I can't wait to see what happens here. Atlantis is devastated as we speak.
Mhm.
Yeah. And you get the feeling, yeah, that there's a bigger scheme here, a larger plot in motion.
Oh yeah, some kind of plot here. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, ready for number 2?
Yes.
All right. I covered. Justin's like, man with no nipples.
Well, yeah. Gotta love it.
No nipples. Prince Namor, the Submariner, number 2 from October 1984. The Once and Future Man. I think we got the same team here. Yep. Still the Mateus and Budiansky writing his. So.
Mm-hmm.
Prince Namor surveys the damage to Atlantis by Dragon Rider and her mutant dragon. He is scolded by his cousin Lord Dara for his absence before collapsing from his injuries. Back at his palace, he demands answers from Dragon Rider, and she informs him that outside of the capital, Atlanteans are suffering from poverty. Yes. Despite his skepticism, his advisors insist there is a genuine issue and ultimately convince him to visit one of the colonies as a show of support for his people. He decides to visit the colony of Amphitrite, but he is unaware of a plot against him being orchestrated by an unknown figure. Upon his arrival, Namor is shocked by the poor conditions of the colony, and he is eventually attacked by the people in anger. He takes pity on the derelict people and spares them punishment and tells Jaka that something must be done to help the people. Jaka suggests that a way has been found that takes Namor to a square where a man is hanging on a cross. Namor is shocked to find that the hanging man is also Jaka and soon discovers that the other Jaka is an imposter who seeks to overthrow Namor. He is taken to an arena and forced to fight the false Jaka, who turns out to be a shape changer named Proteus. Proteus quickly gains an upper hand in the fight, but Namor becomes enraged and begins to overcome him. Namor finally takes mercy on Proteus after beating him senseless. Lord Thakos arrives with troop reinforcements, but Namor seeks to defuse the situation and insists that the people shall suffer no more. Upon his return to Atlantis, he learns that his recent acquaintance, Jacqueline Trufant, has been allegedly kidnapped by the State Department official Carl Bernhardt.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Another cliffhanger ending, folks.
Yeah, I mean, again, at the end of each of these issues, man, people are really poking the bear here. 1, you attack Atlantis and, take a big chunk out of Atlantis. 2,
Yeah.
And issue 2, you see blocked Namor. You're really in trouble now.
That's why he's screaming at the end of this issue.
No! Yeah, man. You got to clean out that aquarium. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That man had plans.
Oh my God. Hello, Russell. Ready for this? KFC called, said they're missing a bunch of biscuits.
Taste the biscuit.
Oh man. Oh, I should do my homework. How much they want for that song? Justin would be the other one on the cable in his who get his own personal theme song every episode. Yeah.
Yes. My favorite biscuit.
Oh my. So yeah, issue 2. I mean, we were again, the other thing I liked about this issue, and again, modern comics can never. The story's moving at a nice brisk pace here.
Yeah, it really is. This would be 3 or 4 issues if it were modern day stuff. Yeah, and I love that we see some actual growth in Namor over the course of this one issue. Because in this climactic moment where he's fighting with Proteus, eventually he gets so enraged at what Proteus is doing with these mind games, turning him into all these different various people and toying with his emotions, that he just loses his shit and beats the hell out of Proteus to the point where he actually stops and realizes what he's doing, and then reaches down and cradles this bent and broken being in his arm and says, and asks for his forgiveness. And for me, that was the biggest surprise. That was something I was not expecting to see for Namor. I was expecting maybe he'd realize that he's coming close to killing this creature and just kind of leave him and be like, clean up this mess and get these rebels out of here. But no, he actually like has a moment of empathy where he realizes, yes, these people have been starving. They've been like living in squalor here in this remote outpost of Atlantis, and things haven't been good here, and they've been basically neglected and forgotten by the larger empire. So he can kind of understand. All of a sudden, it kind of dawns on him, and you see it the moment that it happens in this issue. It kind of dawns on him. Wait, like I'm doing this wrong. I need to stop. Think about what I'm actually doing here, and then fix this issue, fix this problem. And that's what he does at the end of this issue. He fixes it.
Yeah, that seems to be a theme in these issues, as we'll see, even moving towards these last two. It's like Namor kind of gets his eyes open to a few things. It comes to a lot of realizations in these issues.
Yeah.
Whether something he needs to change with himself or the world around him is changing.
Right. Yeah, Atlantis is changing. Lots of stuff. Lots of things are changing around him, and he realizes that he himself needs to change at the same time with how he handles certain situations. Obviously. So yeah, I loved that moment. I thought that was really beautifully done in this story.
I was just looking at this. So this Proteus, I guess it says that this issue is his first appearance, but I guess his only appearance is in this series, because it says I don't see anything, at least on his thing here, past this miniseries. So
yeah, I was curious about that too. If he had ever been used again.
I was going to say, so I
but
guess we'll call you a scholar of Namor.
Yeah.
We'll phrase it politely. Yes, a scholar of Namor.
Yeah.
So you've never heard of this guy anywhere else?
No, I've never seen him in any other Namor story or any other Atlantis story. Yeah, I don't know whatever happened to him, which is kind of a shame because it's a cool concept for a character. And I mean, as I've said before on the show, we could always use more superpowered Atlanteans. I think that there's more than enough room for that to happen.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, it's the necklace. Yeah, the mystic necklace. One of Neptune's mystic talismans provides the ability to turn any number of shapes, from humanoid shapes to elemental ones. And any shape he takes, the necklace could always be seen. Proteus seems to gain the powers of whatever shape he took. See, that's when you're a good shapeshifter, like when you get the powers of whoever you change into.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, just getting the shape isn't enough. You've got to have the abilities too.
When she's the oh, I know. I'm surprised. Well, I guess maybe it depends who he knows, but I'm just like, oh, I got to beat Namor. I'll just turn into the Hulk or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Turn into Doctor Strange and use my arsenal of magic to defeat him.
Or Hercules, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that Namor could beat Hercules. I'll go on record. Especially if it was in the water. Yeah, it's over.
I mean, if we had a real knockdown drag out between Namor and Hercules, yeah, I don't know who would win, but I know who wouldn't survive. Justin.
I'd be on the sidelines watching with a bag of popcorn.
I don't know who'd be more excited, you or Ray.
I'd be like, you guys can drag out this fight for as long as you want.
see Justin laying on the ground, just dehydrated. It's been 40 hours. I haven't slept. I haven't blinked for 40 hours.
I haven't blinked for 40 hours.
Can't feel my eyes. All right, want to get to number 3?
Yes.
All right. You had to hunt down some of these image cover images because kids unfortunately can't pick these up digitally anywhere. I don't think.
Yeah, anywhere.
Yeah, I found them on eBay for a good price. The whole, all 4 issues. So yeah, if you have a back issue bin or something, yeah, they shouldn't be that expensive.
Yeah, I think I saw them in my local comic shop. Had a good deal for the whole set for like $10 or $15 or something like that. So yeah, I don't know when they're ever going to reprint this. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I would have thought they maybe would have reprint all the Namor stuff like after the second Black Panther movie, but
oh yeah, I thought yeah. Well, they started doing the Epic collections for him around then.
Oh, okay. So maybe once they hit this point, it'll be in an Epic collection, maybe.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be a while before they get to this point because right now they just did volume 3 or volume 4, whatever it is, but it's only the second volume of his original series, which went on for a long time.
Yeah, that was like the 70s, right? Yeah, so
yeah. So they've only just gotten around to collecting like the second volume of that. So it's going to be a while before they get to this one.
All right. All right, Prince Namor, the Submariner, number 3 from November 1984. The twain shall meet. Again, same team. Namor has been informed of the kidnapping of Jacqueline Trufant and desperately rushes to her aid. He arrives to an undisclosed location to find her bound to a very rocky pillar and is quickly attacked by giant blue-skinned humanoids. A flashback then reveals that Namor decided to leave Atlantis despite the protests of his advisory council. The council appears to begin discussing the need to remove Namor from his leadership role due to the lack of attention he seems willing to give to the kingdom. Namor continues his battle with the Mad Twins and ultimately succeeds in forcing them to flee. He unties Trufant and embraces her, but is quickly confronted by a group of U.S. Navy operatives accompanied by Carl Bernhardt. Bernhardt looks to speak with him, but Namor leaves angrily. Again, he's getting blocked here. Suspicious that Bernhardt is complicit in Trufant's kidnapping. After the rescue, Trufant encourages Namor to spend some time with her at the Trufant Center for Undersea Studies before he addressed the United Nations General Assembly, hoping to convince them to bring Atlantis into the fold of formal global diplomacy. Yes, let's study some undersea sea life, Your Majesty.
Up close and personal.
What can you tell me about lubricated eels?
Eels are the best.
Yeah. Watch that sea life, kids.
Whoosh is a squishy.
Meanwhile, a vote of no confidence commences before an assemblage of Atlanteans at Atlantis, and Namor is formally deposed of his position as ruler of the kingdom. He addresses the UN General Assembly and is admired for his words of unification before being suddenly attacked by the Mad Twins. So yes, not only is he getting attacked again, but yes, now he's lost his throne.
Yep.
Boy, the solicit for this issue, man, really spoils it. Prince Namor rescues the woman he loves from the clutches of kidnappers.
Whoa. They're kind of jumping the gun there, but as we see in the John Byrne Namor,
he always moves quick. He moves. Professor Love, and we never see it on panel. Yeah,
that man moves fast.
It's so funny. That whole Byrne thing. I just keep picturing in my mind. Oh, he professed his love to me, and I see him just going, yeah. I said I love you.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But yeah, another good issue, and like that first splash page. Yeah,
so good, right? Yeah, this artwork is some of his best, I think. Yeah. Also, on another thing, it's hard to do in comic book art. It's hard to do underwater scenes well. I've noticed.
Yes.
There are
Yes.
some artists that can pull it off extremely well. Like Gene Colan was a master of that. Like his
Hmm.
underwater stuff always looks so good. And Marie Severin was another good one. A few other people, but it's really challenging, and for obvious reasons. I mean, it's a whole other environment, so it's different
Hmm.
perspective and motion and everything works differently. Yeah, it's tough to make it look good, but it always looks good here in this series. Everything looks great. All the underwater scenes look great.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a tricky thing because like you kind of want to give a sense of underwater, but you don't want to obscure too much. And
Hmm. And again, we have moments of personal growth and restraint here with Namor, because there's one scene in particular where Vashti's talking about dire consequences for stuff, and Namor lifts him right up off the ground. He says, "What? You dare threaten me? You?" And then he just stops. He stops and he hurls Vashti away
hmm.
and just kind of stalks out of there. When in the past he would have went on a full rage tear over that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That man would have smashed everything in sight, and probably Vashti as well. But he stopped himself. He was like, "No, I'm not going to beat up this old man. you know, I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to walk away. I'm going to, to go take care of this other problem." And we got some great action between Namor and those two giants.
Oh yeah.
He's like, "Go on, run like the craven wretches you are. You won't escape me." It's fantastic. I love it.
But boy, you really want to set a trap for Namor? Yeah, attractive blonde. I mean, most of the
Yeah.
buttons are have been ripped off that shirt. The skirt's torn.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah. Absolutely. That is a classic damsel in distress, if I ever
mhm.
saw one. Yeah. And the first time that I read this, and they're on the beach, and they've got their romantic uh, sunset walk on the beach, and he kisses her, and then she's like wringing her hands behind his back.
Yeah.
The first time I read that, I was like, "Oh, what's going on here? What's that about?" But we'll.
Wow. Was Namor a superior lover?
Yeah, but there's one complaint that I have, and it's when he goes to the UN assembly and he's wearing the green trunks and the like the blue black tunic and the gold
Yeah.
frilly thing. Like that looks so off to me. Like he
Yeah.
should have
Because in
the
the first
original
issue, wasn't
outfit
he
that he
wearing
had.
pants with that?
Yeah, he had like some type of like leotard pants or whatever. Yeah. And I thought, what's he doing? Like, did he leave those in Atlantis or something? He was in a hurry and like
Well, he
couldn't
was just. This is after that beach scene. He's feeling large and in charge, my friend.
letting it all hang out.
He's literally
Yeah.
projecting to the whole UN big dick energy. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you guys can see my calves before the entire UN assembly and everything else.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Namor, the first Prince of Atlantis, the fully engorged Submariner.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am a shower and a grower, he says.
But I just love that page there as he's speaking, and we see everyone watching on TV like the Fantastic Four, Doctor Strange,
Yes.
the new Defenders, Spider-Man, and then
Yeah.
the guy in Latveria. For the first time, I'm happy that Doctor Doom is dead. Had the Master
Yeah.
to this day, his rage would have been unholy indeed.
Yes. Indeed, in 1984, Doctor Doom was sort of dead. Yeah. And I love the panel with Doctor Strange, so it looks like he's asleep in his chair watching TV.
I know. Well, I mean,
Wong gave him some jasmine tea, and he
well,
nodded off.
I mean, look beside him. There's something, there's smoke or something coming from a cauldron or something next to him. So,
Catching the vapors.
The the unholy bong of Vishnu or something.
The bong of the Vishanti.
The hookah of Agamotto. His slippers look
Yeah,
even more silly with the when he's not wearing long pants.
I know it's so ridiculous looking. I don't understand why that was done, but yeah, and the green clashes with the blue like that shade. It just doesn't look good. Yeah.
Unless that's like supposed to be like a visual representation of just he's like he's basically he's not focused at this moment. He's
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's
yeah,
letting things that in Atlantis escape his attention and
yeah. Little details like this are
mhm.
beneath his notice, apparently. Yeah, but then he doesn't have the prescience to predict the fact that he's going to be attacked by those two giants at the UN assembly.
I know that last scene, man. The one just
Yeah,
like backhands him like through a chimney or something.
swapped
He
him
like
away.
he
Yeah,
lands in an alley in the trash. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That was another surprise I did not see coming when I first read this.
All right, you ready for the last one?
Yes, the thrilling conclusion.
Yes. Whoa, look at that.
Love it.
Even though she's miscolored, but yes.
Mm, that's okay.
That's all right. See, that ain't fair. You get a clear up, unobstructed view of Namor's chest. We don't get the.
You got to use your imagination for her. Yeah.
All right, Prince Namor, the Submariner, number 4 from December 1984. The Road Not Taken. Oh, this one only JMD Mateus is credited as writer. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see. It was just like, yeah, I can handle it. Oh, I think we got new colors here. Paul Beckton.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So, all right. Namor has been knocked senseless by the Mad Twins and is confronted by Carl Bernhardt, a representative of the U.S. State Department, in an alleyway. Namor is angered by Bernhardt's presence as he blames him for the kidnapping of Jacqueline Trufant, but Bernhardt reveals that Trufant has been playing Namor and that they have been investigating her for months. A scuffle ensues, and accompanying policemen shoot at Namor, which causes a bullet to ricochet off of his skin and strike Bernhardt in the shoulder. A near repeat of the events from the early 1950s that ended with the death of an innocent bystander. Namor comes to his senses and leaves the scene to further investigate the accusations. Namor dives into the ocean and comes across the ruins of Pontus, where he encounters Trufant transformed into a mermaid and able to breathe underwater. His other enemies appear, including the mutant eel dragon, the Mad Twins, and Proteus, and he attacks them in anger, believing them responsible for Trufant's transformation. He struggles to obtain the upper hand and is eventually told by Trufant that she had been using various mystical talismans to create the creatures and become a mermaid, and that she had done so to seek revenge against Namor. Okay, kids, okay. Remember that shooting from issue 1, kids? All right.
Mm-hmm.
She reveals that her father was the innocent bystander killed in New York City years prior, and that Namor's presence was directly responsible for his death.
Yeah.
She trained to become a marine biologist so that she could become closer to his habitat to seek him out. She becomes enraged again and a fight breaks out between her and Namor, but Namor struggles to win the fight with the powers she's acquired from the talisman and trident of Neptune. Namor finally comes to the realization that it would be much easier to fight her on land, and he flies her to a deserted island where he overcomes her easily when her powers begin to significantly weaken out of the water. Bernhardt and S.H.I.E.L.D. agents arrive where he apologizes to Namor before Namor leaves and flies to Atlantis. Upon his return to Atlantis, he is greeted by his cousin, Lord Dara, who informs him that he is no longer the ruler of Atlantis. Namor is briefly angered, but accepts his fate and leaves the city. So, yeah, he got his heart broken, and, he lost his throne.
Yeah. A lot of losses in one issue for Namor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you think of this conclusion, Phil?
I mean, not a happy ending.
Yeah. But again, more surprises.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like this. Again, we kind of knew something was maybe up with Jacqueline here, and we find it out this issue.
Yeah. I loved that connection, that it was her dad that was the innocent bystander from the original incident.
Mm-hmm.
That was great. That was really great. The only thing I didn't like was, okay, we've got her behind Dragon Rider, Proteus, and the two giants. And then she just kind of it reverses them all back to normal and they just kind of stalk off. I felt like that was a little bit too easy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? I felt
Mhm.
like maybe Namor should have at some point wrested the talismans away from her during some type of conflict and then did it like himself, like reverted it back or smashed the talisman so that they change back or something. But for her to just be like, okay, well, I don't need you anymore. Like, I'm just going to reverse this stuff. And this big, gigantic Leviathan gets turned back into a harmless little electric eel or whatever. And then the rest of them just kind of swim away and do their own thing. That seemed kind of weird to me, that whole sequence of events.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that I had trouble with. I thought that it was a weird resolution to those other characters, but it made up for it with how the rest of the story was handled, how it was concluded. I love that.
Oh yeah.
And especially the fact that, again, we see some personal change in Namor at the very end. He just kind of, once Dara tells him, there's been a vote, basically you've got to step down. You see that one panel where he's about to lose his mind, like he's about to just lose it and just go crazy and start smashing everything. And then he stops himself again. He stops himself and then he just kind of accepts it. He gives Dara a hug. He swims away and he pieces out and he starts a new chapter in his life. So before that, Namor would have went on a rampage.
Yeah,
And he would have called out everybody. He would have been thrown down for a fight. He would have been. This would have ended poorly.
I think it's like two things between those two panels. One, I think in that split second, it's going through his mind, just like you know what, I even if I could like strong arm my way back in here, what I'm going to be a dictator and force these people to accept my role. And then
Right.
two, I think he's just exhausted just after the
Yeah.
Jacqueline thing and everything. He's just like, you know what,
I don't even want it. Yeah.
Good. Maybe I just need to get away from everything.
Yeah. He goes, I don't even want it. You guys have it then. I could use a vacation, which is totally understandable. At this point in time, he had been the ruler of Atlantis for a while. He had had this job for a while, and he needed a break. Unfortunately, him taking a break led to Atuma taking over Atlantis, but that's a story for another time.
Atuma.
And we covered one of those stories this past summer on Marvel Tales. Atlantis Attacks.
You never want a Tuma, kids.
Yeah, it was shortly after this miniseries that I think I can't remember where in the pages of what.
The Avengers, maybe because he does show up in the Avengers. Yeah,
it might have been the Avengers. Yeah, I can't remember exactly where, but yeah, it's maybe a year or two after.
I think Atuma might show up in Avengers or some of the Atlanteans show up in Avengers at one point.
Yeah, it was after. I think after they migrated to Hydra Base.
I think so. Yeah.
Tyrak or somebody comes wandering up on the Hydra Base and starts throwing down with everybody. But yeah, I think it was like a year after this that Atuma took over, and yeah, things changed for Atlantis. That's for sure. Don't know about necessarily for the better, but they certainly changed.
Well, at least it wasn't Atuma this time.
It's not Atuma.
Yeah.
But no, and then the whole thing with Jacqueline, I'm always like with characters like this, and you get the reveal. It's like, you thought I loved you, but I hate you for whatever thing, And I'm always like, man, what kind of like control does it take to we saw her at least kissing him. Who knows if they did anything else? But it's like to just passionately kiss this person you despise and hate and blame for the death of your father.
Yeah. And she even says that, she references that during their battle in this issue. She says, how you make me sick. After they made out. She talked about how much she hated it when they kissed on the beach.
Gives a whole new meaning to.
And I like the fact too that there were two tridents here. Like there was
Yes.
Namor's trident wasn't the only one. There was a different one that had other abilities. I really liked that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the whole concept behind this kind of lost temple of Neptune,
Mm-hmm.
like this old temple that had kind of been forgotten and um, had become kind of a legend over the years because nobody really remembered where it was. Yeah, I love that. That all this stuff. It was a lot of Atlantean full circle stuff that took place during the course of this series, which was great.
And the other thing I do like is they gave us just enough of everything where it's like,
Mm.
sometimes I'll get bored if there's too much like Atlantean politics. I think there was just enough
Mhm.
here. I didn't get bored with it. Again, there was a
Yes.
nice mix of that and the whole Jacqueline thing and the UN thing. And the mix was perfect in this.
Yeah, definitely. It seemed like there wasn't too much of any one particular element, and even the action sequences were well done. It didn't seem
Mhm.
like it was just a big battle for the sake of having one in the issue because there hadn't been one yet. It was there for a reason, and it was very, very well done.
Yes, and the pacing was
Yeah,
good. Again, not too fast, not too slow.
right.
Yeah,
Yep,
no.
excellent all around.
But again, good. I mean, J.M.D. Mateus and Bob Budiansky. I mean,
Oh, I know. Yeah, yeah,
I expect nothing
yeah.
less.
You got some prime talent here.
Mm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
As he says as he stares at Namor's abs.
Yeah. That's some talent too.
Ah.
That is some talent too.
Justin's gonna follow that trench down.
Swimmer's abs.
Oh my!
Yep.
Look at that coral reef. Man, I can't believe Russell just made that. I can't believe Russell just made that KFC comment and just like, f that. He's like, okay, bye.
Yeah. Well, I think he has to work tonight, so yeah.
Oh,
He's
with
gonna
Smelly
get
Boss. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Don't use the bathroom after that guy, whatever you do. Unless you have a gas mask. Unless you have a
Oh.
gas mask or have no sense of smell.
But yeah, no, good pick, Justin. I'm
Thank
glad
you. Yeah.
you prodded me into getting this. Yeah, no, this was a good read.
Thank you. Well, I know that you love JMD Mateus's work so
Yes.
much
Mhm.
that I thought, yeah, this would be a great read for you to have in your collection at some point. And I really believe that it's one of the best Namor stories, really,
I'd
because
say
you
it's
get
one of the best ones I've read. Yeah.
you get a lot of callbacks to his past, which is great. You get a lot of like in-depth, really thought-provoking character moments here. You get personal growth within the character. You have a new nemesis that has calls to his past. Um, a little bit of Atlantean politics here and there, and
Mhm.
some great artwork, and even callbacks to the Neptune stuff, like the old Neptune legends,
Oh yeah.
which is classic Namor. So, I really feel that as far as solo terms, this is one of the best Namor stories ever. Definitely the best one from the '80s, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, if you're any kind of Namor fan, yeah, I'd say pick this up.
yeah, definitely.
And
I'm
again, you probably,
surprised this was never collected in like a trade paperback or something.
yeah, I know.
It's weird.
I mean, again,
I'm sure that
back then they weren't collecting a lot of stuff, like today.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm sure this will be in an Epic collection someday. I have no doubt about that, but
I would
I
bet
feel like
you,
it's
yeah,
gonna be a while.
once this gets collected and like in an Epic trade or something, that's probably when it's going to hit the app. I bet.
Mm. Probably.
I think that's how it happens a lot of times. Is once starts, once something gets collected, then it hits the app.
Yeah. Yep. And I do feel too that if they ever did like a Namor film, um, or even like a series, like a Disney Plus series or something, if they adapted this story and made a few tweaks here and there to it, I really feel like it would come off really well. It'd be really well done. Yeah.
Oh, look who we got a link from. Ray Pod. Hey, Ray.
Oh, hey, Ray.
Hey, Ray. Theory me. Why don't you? The hard.
Yeah, we'll have to have Ray on Classic X-Men.
Oh yeah, I mean, eventually we're gonna get to that X Factor stuff. So yeah, Ray loves that.
Yeah, but even like when we talk about the Brood or something. Yeah.
Oh hey, Ray, upcoming issues. We're gonna be doing that whole Avengers Gatherers saga. So
oh yes, the jacket.
90s Avengers jacket stuff. Yeah, come on.
Yes, jacket party.
Because we've had these talks. I know he was reading Avengers around that time. I think so.
Yes, we're going to talk about not one, not two, but 3 foil embossed covers over the course of 1 month.
Yes.
It was 1 copper one, 1 silver one, and 1 gold one.
Oh yeah. White Vision's going to undergo a transformation again.
Yes, another one. Yep.
All right. So anything else on this this story, Justin?
No, I think we covered it very well. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I know that was your first time reading it. I'm glad you liked it, and yeah, it was fun to revisit it. I hope if anybody else out there hasn't read it, go check it out and send in your thoughts. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear your feedback.
Yes, please send in your thoughts. So next time, episode 100, kids. It's right around
the big one is here.
Yeah. Yep. So we're gonna kiss in since it's in Namor-vember. We're gonna cover the big appearances of Namor from Marvel Comics #1, of course. So the first Marvel comic.
This very first appearance. Yep.
Fantastic Four #4. He make his reappearance in the modern era. Fantastic Four Annual 1 and Defenders #1.
Yeah, also big milestones as well.
Speaking of Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I'm so excited. That's going to be a great episode.
Oh yeah. Lots of classy. Like again, we should no matter even if it was no matter what, we should have got that Marvel Comics #1 because that is
history.
The first Marvel comic.
Yeah, comics history.
I'm sure that dialogue is not dated at all.
The dialogue and the art.
Oh yeah. You're gonna be. Oh, I don't want to like traumatize you if he has like the triangle head.
Oh, that's okay. I'm prepared for it.
Okay. And then yes, in December for grab your jackets, kids, because like we said, we're gonna do the whole Gatherer saga. So week 1 will be Avengers 343, 344, and 348 because we're jumping around because it kind of gets interrupted there by Galactic Storm.
Yes, there's a little bit of hopping and skipping and jumping that takes place here.
Exactly. So then week 2, Avengers 355, 356, 358, and 359. Then week 3, nice little all the way through Avengers 360 through 363. And then the final will wrap it up. Avengers 372 through 375. So 3 foil covers and 375s and oversized. I think it's at least a wraparound cover, if not.
Yeah, I think it's some gatefold, fold out, which is great because there's so many characters in that issue, and I think they're all represented on that cover. It's wonderful, and it's Steve Epting, so it's great artwork throughout.
Yeah, I think on the front it's like the Black Knight and first
Proctor.
Yeah,
dueling it out. Yeah.
Oh, hello, Noel Tate. 1 week.
Hey, no. That's right. We've been talking about my favorite Namor story. And my first Namor story.
It's his first. It was we were talking about his first time, Noel.
That's right.
double biscuits for me.
Oh, it's getting to be that time again soon here, kids. Not only the holidays and at the end of the year, but also another Drunk Justin video. I cannot wait.
Oh,
for
that's
more
right.
drops.
Next month, I'm going to be getting my annual comic book order that I get for myself around my birthday.
Oh yes, I cannot wait
And
to cut that up for door drops.
I will be unboxing it, usually under the influence of something. And yeah, we'll see what we have in store for everybody this year.
See, I tried to shame Loth. I'm like, you're always under the influence of something. I'm like, why can't you send me videos like Justin? I think she's worried about things being used in a court of law. I don't know.
Oh yeah, incriminating evidence.
No, first trip to Biscuit Town.
First trip to Biscuit Town. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he said he was 6 years old. And I said, oh, so that's the exact moment when you realized women were not for you. Okay.
It might have been before this actually, because before
really?
comic books I was into He-Man. So
oh,
it's a logical progression.
So every time Noel sends in like a Masters of the Universe meme to the group, that's just a tease for you. Okay. See, Noel, how dare you?
The thing is with He-Man though is I can't get past the hair, the classic hair, the mullet, the mullet helmet head. I just can't get past the hair. It's such a, it's so bad.
Yeah, come on, Noel, you're making him bluer than Skeletor. Come on. Oh yeah, I think you kind of answered this, but he says, "Did you know you were gay when you first read this story?"
Probably not. I don't think I was even paying attention to the.
I was gonna say, you said you were 6.
Age 6, yeah. I mean, later on though, probably like around 11 or 12, I think I still started noticing things. Yeah,
I was gonna say it's 6. I don't think most people know either way. They're just like,
yeah. I did. There was an issue of Mark Spector. No, it was Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu #1, the miniseries from the 80s. I remember there was a scene where Mark Spector was naked in bed and like sitting up shirtless, and he was absolutely like buff, like it was the most muscular that we've ever seen this man in his life. And I just remember staring at that page for forever. And he was on a diving board in another part of the issue wearing a Speedo. I was like, oh. So maybe I knew on an unconscious level.
Yeah.
But it wasn't recognized. Yeah.
No. Yeah, at 6, cooties from everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I didn't want anybody near me.
All right. So that's what's coming up here soon, kids. Yeah, next episode 100 with all those classic Namor appearances, and then yes, in December the Gatherer saga from that 90s Avengers with all the jackets and foil covers,
all kinds of stuff.
Pure so 90s. You youngins want to know what the 90s was like comic wise? Stay tuned for December.
That's right. You're gonna find out. We covered a big chunk of the 80s with Atlantis attacks,
jackets,
and now we can
mullets, foil covers.
Yes, guest stars galore. Yep,
photon swords. All right, kids. So send us your thoughts on all the upcoming stuff. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com. And call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your brand new Capes and Lunatics merch, your classic Capes and Lunatics merch. And remember, don't fear any sea monsters. Fear a little hellfire if you're doing rain the money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Yes, please don't make us dance on that pole in the Marvel Universe, because, well, unless you're Justin, we don't want a horny, angry Namor coming into the club.
We're gonna hold down at Divas.
Oh my lord, no! Yuck, 90s.
Yeah.
I was like, that's what gives me cooties. The 90s.
Exactly. Yes.
90s comics. And of course the Patreon, where you can find all things. Well, you can find exclusive content. Me and Lilith give you uncensored, and of course, if you're a patron like our good friend the Owl
Yes.
here. You can
Join me in the Patreon Elite. You can suggest topics for the bonus episodes, like I have done a couple of times this year.
Yes, and kids request some like tales from Little Hellfire's past.
Yes.
These
I want
secretive trips to Vegas. Again, I want to see pictures. I want to hear stories. Again, in high school, she was supposedly a cheerleader. Unbelievable.
See, for me, I want to hear the stories about being the strip club DJ.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear that. I want to hear
Uh-huh.
those stories. Yeah,
Oh
I
my
bet those
God.
are good.
Oh man, I want her to prepare like the whole spiel. It's like, oh, coming up now on the main stage. How
Oh
did she
yes, yeah.
yes,
Like from South Park. Up next is Classy.
yes. But no, the whole I forget how long ago she told me the cheerleader thing. It still blows my mind because I'm like, yeah, she's a leader. She has very much leadership capabilities. But the cheer part, I'm like, cheer. I would not describe anything with any aspect of Little Hellfire with cheer. Until they invent those perfect male sex robots, I would not describe her as cheerful.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I saw a meme today. They said by a certain year, I forget which year, they said, yeah, more women than men will be having sex with sex robots. And I sent her the meme, and she like, all I get back is duh. So anyway, find everything. We'll find the Patreon at patreon.com/capesandlunatics, and find everything at tubespace.io/capesandlunatics podcast network. That's tubespace.io/capesandlunatics podcast network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
All right. Now the speaking of people who investigate ocean life, just yeah. You can find the Owl here every week on Marvel Tales, talking something different Marvel with me. X-Men Classics for the rest of the year, once a month, but that'll be going up more frequently next year.
That's right.
Yep. You can also hear him. Man, where did he show up? Oh yes, on We Are the Night,
the Batman podcast,
talking all things Azrael, and then yes, he'll occasionally slip into another Batman episode with me and Lilith.
Yeah.
And again, next every so often he drops by Electric Mullet, the Superman podcast.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll be
Superman with
dropping over there a few times next year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, we got lots of stuff ready. God, you guys ain't ready for 2025 between Marvel Tales and X-Men Classic. No.
Yeah.
Especially,
especially
when the two shows cross over,
yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be so good.
Oh, we got big events next year. Secret Wars 2, Inferno.
Secret Wars 2, Inferno, yeah. Cross Time Keeper from Excalibur, the whole story. We're doing that.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be great.
Oh, so much good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, weirdly I can see Lilith as a cheerleader. Is that one of those horror movies? She's the only one who survives. Yeah. She's the last teen standing and takes out
the final girl. Yeah,
Jason Voorhees or something. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Totally.
All right, but this Justin the Owl, yeah. Besides Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics sidekicks, you can also find him on these
shows. Yes, you can also find me and Russell over on Gamma Charge, where we talk about either the Immortal Hulk, which we're covering in its entirety,
nice,
or the Sensational She-Hulk, which we are also covering in its entirety. Nice. We're alternating coverage between the two of those series and having a great time with it. And we also have a Patreon, so do check that out also. Over on Predator and Prey, we are joined by the High Priest of Khonshu, Ray, and Sparky. And currently, I am guesting over there. Basically, we're doing it where they're covering the new Marvel stuff, and then I'm coming on to talk about the classic Dark Horse stuff. We're kind of alternating the formula a little bit, so it will be still entertaining all around. And over on the Lost Library of Legends, my solo show, dedicated to the lost and forgotten comic book series of the past few decades, I am gearing up to do a multiple-part coverage on an Ultraverse series from the 90s.
You're not gonna say which one?
Oh no, it's going to be a surprise.
Oh, nice.
Going back to the 90s here, bitch.
I've been waiting all year to cover something from the Ultraverse.
What is this coming at the end of the year to tie into something else?
Well, no, unfortunately,
Okay.
I don't think any of the Ultraverse stuff is ever going to be adapted anytime soon because of,
Yeah. No, I just mean
Pretty
how
sure
a
it's-
certain Gatherer saga ends. We're gonna.
Oh, well, that unfortunately that the ending of that story dovetailed in with the end of the Ultraverse.
Oh man.
So yeah, so
Yeah.
it'll be a while before I get to that point, but eventually, yeah.
I'm going to eat this up with a fork and spoon.
Oh, just wait, kids. In another few months here, we're gonna have new drops.
Oh yes.
I don't think
Oh,
so.
several. You'll have several, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, no, I saw that graphic. I had to use it. Use that owl graphic. I mean,
It
just
really
like,
is the best.
just that disapproving look. I had to use it. I had to use that.
It captures my judgmental gaze quite well, doesn't it?
It just screams.
Oh, long-head Superman. Oh.
Exactly.
It's me, Pal the Owl.
Boo! Comic book origin story movies. Boo!
Oh, that's naughty.
All right. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us again. Next week, Marvel Tales 100. With those classic Marvel, the Marvel Comics #1, Fantastic Four #4, Fantastic Four Annual 1, and Defenders #1. All big classic Namor appearances.
Yep. It's going to be a big one.
That's right. That's right. Young blondes, owls. Namor's coming for y'all. Good night.